Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be I keep calling it like a homeschool update, but it's not really an update, it's more of a homeschool prep video. So I'm gonna be talking about how I am preparing myself to start a brand new school year. So if you guys are new here, this year I'm going to be homeschooling a kindergartner and a first grader. This is gonna be my second year homeschooling. My kids have never been to public school. I am a teacher. I have my bachelor's in elementary education, and I have a lot of background in schools, elementary schools, and also preschool and daycare like aged kids as well. I also have an 8-month-old that you can hear on the floor, so she might pop in here and there, but I'm gonna try to keep her on the floor because she likes to grab everything. You guys might be the next victim if I put her up here. So I know it can be something kind of scary and kind of just like it's too much, and it is a lot. It's a lot of work, but I promise once you get that foundation down of organizing yourself, it's a lot easier. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I'm prepping myself for the new school year, just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, whether you're only going to homeschool next semester until COVID's over, or like the whole year, or if you want to homeschool your kids full-time, you have to decide on when you want to homeschool. I know a lot of the schools right now are going to be doing different things. They're going to be, doing online things. They're going to be sending packets. They're going to be kind of telling you what you need to be doing. So I know a lot of parents, they're technically like withdrawing their kids from school so that they can do their own thing and they don't have the pressure of, doing what the school wants them to do. So for curriculum, I get this question all the time, where do I get the curriculum? And I have been using The Good and the Beautiful. It is a like Christian based curriculum, but it's just kind of broad. It's not specific. We're more spiritual of a family, so I sometimes, if I don't want to like say certain things that it says in there, I find it really easy to just omit certain things and move on. It's not where they get you do Bible readings or scriptures or anything like that. The reason I like The Good and Beautiful mainly is the price, and because it's super easy to use. Even if I didn't have my education background, I do find it very easy to follow. Oh, shit, I forgot I had this in here. I always do that. I'm not gonna go into detail about that, but I do like the price. I do like that you can order things individually, so you can only order the text if you want. You can only order books from there if you want, and it's really awesome, self-explanatory. You can do little assessments so you can see what level your kids are at. So that's number one, the curriculum. And after that, you're going to decide when you want to school. So for us, we school Monday through Thursday, and I'm on a like kind of schedule where I'll do school for 6 weeks and then we're going to be off for 1 week. So my intention for the 1 week off is so that I could do planning for the next 6 weeks. So honestly, that's the great thing about homeschooling, is you can homeschool year round. You can do it like traditional homeschooling, Monday through Friday. So the flexibility is awesome, but you do want to have some sort of plan and routine, because if not, you're going to get a little like crazy to where things are a little too flexible, and you're not getting things done, and you might get behind, and then next thing you know, you're like stressed and overwhelmed. So definitely 90% of the time, try to stick to some sort of schedule, whether that's the days of the week, the time of the day. So whatever works for you and your family. I find that it's easier for us to do school in the morning. So yeah, whatever works for you guys. I like to just do it in the morning, get it out of the way, get it done. I feel like the kids are a little bit more sharp, a little more ready to learn. So yeah, so definitely have some sort of scheduling. I know not everyone's the same. If you guys have certain things going on in your school, your work schedules, stuff like that, definitely do what works for you. And last year, just to give a little backstory, if you guys didn't know, last year I was pregnant with her. So literally I was like 7 months pregnant when I started homeschooling the kids. I gave birth in October. So yeah, last year was a little bit hard. She wants the camera so bad. What, you want to see yourself? You want to see yourself? Okay, well there you are. Still cute as ever. Okay, now what? This year I decided to pick up an actual like teacher planner. The way that I kind of organize how we're gonna do it is I just chose a day that we're gonna start. Okay, so I had to make the first semester myself, so I just got out my phone and then just kind of made one on my own, because in my actual planner that I was using that has the yearly like view only has 2021 for some reason, which now looking back I prefer it this way. That way you can kind of mark off the weeks and then adjust as you go. And so see, here's like the 4 years, it has 21 to 24, but the red weeks are the weeks that we're going to be off, and this was just the easiest way that I found to be able to see everything on one sheet. So I just did that, and then for Christmas time we have 4 weeks off, and for the summertime we have like 6 weeks off or so, instead of, you know, like 2.5 months or whatever, or just 2 weeks for Christmas and then like 1 week for fall break and 1 week for spring break, and you know, all that, it kind of like equates to the same thing. That's how I kind of structured it last year. And like I said, when I was pregnant, I like, you know, figured it out where I had an extra couple weeks off. And then also what I like to do, I like to mark the days that are holidays, birthdays, like Earth Day, Indigenous People Day, just the holidays that are not as obvious, and like that we don't tend to remember. And then that way, you know, we can, you know, learn about them that day. And then... Okay, so we're switching locations. I got Mavis fake ready. That's how she looks all the time, with a bow and everything. Okay, so I also asked you guys for some questions, and the one I got a lot was like, what do I suggest for certain grade levels? I suggest going to the Good and Beautiful website, and they have assessments on there for you to take, for your kids to take, so that they can see which level they're at. I do, just from experience, have noticed that the math is more advanced than what I've seen in the schools here in Arizona. They're not called like 5th grade, 1st grade, 2nd grade. They're levels, so it's like level K. They do have level K, pre-K, but they have like level 1, level 2. So for example, my kids for math last year, like Jet tested into level 1, so we never did level K math. So that's going off of the assessment that you take on the website. So like I said, just go explore the website. It's really easy to use, and it will direct you into what you should be, you know, kind of ordering and stuff. I don't think the reading and stuff had an assessment, but I could be wrong. And I did get questions on just my opinion, if I, you know, suggest homeschooling over public schooling. That's very personal to you, and also if you can manage to do that, because it is a lot of work, but to me it's worth it. It's work that I would be doing anyways if I was a teacher in a public school, just like 30 times over. So I do see that right now though, if you can make it work, you should, just because it is, I have a lot of mom friends and a lot of people that I know that were doing this whole tug-of-war thing with the schools when they were trying to figure out, and I know the schools are doing their best and they're trying their best, but you know, it's, no one knows the right way to do this. So if you can homeschool, I would definitely suggest to do it. It'll take the guesswork out of what's the school gonna do, what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do, and it'll allow you to kind of, I mean, honestly, it's very difficult, but at the same time, it's so rewarding, and it's so awesome to be able to know your kids on that level of, you know, that teacher-student level. And that's another question I was going to answer that I got, of just how to separate that, like, parent-child and, like, teacher-student thing. So that goes along with having that sort of schedule, because when it's time for school, it's time for school, and we treat it like school, and it's not, you know, I mean, my kids, I feel like are on a pretty good routine and, you know, respect my rules for the most part. So when we're in school, it's just a little bit more structured as opposed to, you know, when we're at home. Like, they know that if I say something, I mean it. And if you have trouble with your kids kind of just listening and doing what you say, I would definitely suggest doing some sort of reward system, even where it's just for school, or like every day when they finish school. If we can finish school on time, guys, you know, I'll give you guys a tally mark or a star or a sticker or whatever. Once you get 10 stickers, you know, I'll take you guys to buy an ice cream, or I'll, you know, we'll buy pizza. You know, honestly, those things work. And you know, especially when you have multiple kids, you know, if you do that and only one kid gets an ice cream, that's definitely going to show your other kids, like, wow, you know, like, she's not messing around. It takes one time for them to see that you're serious, that you're going to follow through on what you say, and they learn quick. Also, the opposite, it takes one time for you to say, hey, I'm not going to let you do that if you don't do this or whatever, and then at the end of the day, you end up caving and doing it anyways. They learn that too, like, she's just talking booty, you know, she's really gonna let me do it anyway. Doing anything, any sort of reward system or disciplinary system, any sort of thing that you want to do, and actually following through with it and sticking with it, and that's it. And just find what your kids like. If your kids like Legos, if your kids like dolls, if your kids like, you know, coloring or being artistic or being outside, and like vibe from that and use those things to teach them. You know, even though the curriculum could say to do it this way or that way, or use this manipulative or this lesson, you can do that, but also substitute it with something else, or use sticks, or use whatever, flowers, like, instead of, you know, blocks or textiles or whatever. Just bare bones it, guys, bare bones it. It doesn't have to be so technical, and it doesn't have to be so like structured and rigid. It can be fun. School can definitely be fun for kids, and kids learn every day with every consequence that they get, every reward that they get. Anytime you have a one-on-one with them, they learn from it. Definitely big on reward systems. We've been doing the same reward system, I would say, for almost 2 years now, since the girls were about 2, 3-ish, 3, 4-ish, and they're about to be 5 and 6. Jet's about to be 6 in a couple of weeks, and then Charlotte's gonna be 5 in September. So yeah, she's, you know, gonna be 5 and doing kinder. So, but she's, you know, her birthday's a little bit late, but she's definitely ready as far as her temperament goes, and her, you know, personality and just her behavior. She's definitely ready for kinder. So, and then also another question I get is just, how do I keep myself together? I'm not always together. Let me like clarify that. But if you can get yourself together as far as like whatever makes you happy. For me, it's being able to exercise in the morning and shower like before my husband leaves. If I can put makeup on that day, that's a bonus. You know, a little coffee in the morning. Don't feel guilty. Us as moms, we do so much, and we still feel guilty when we don't do enough one day or 2 days. Like, don't dwell on those times where you're doing something for yourself and thinking, oh man, but the kids have been watching movies all day, you know, because I've been cleaning, or because I've been, like, me, it makes me happy to clean, honestly. Like, if I have a clean house, and like all my laundry's done, or all my, like, my kitchen's clean, or, you know, my laundry room or the floors are clean, like, if I have a clean space and I have, you know, a clean house, that makes me happy. So if I take a day where my house is just done for, and I'm like, you know what, I can't focus today, I can't do this like this, we're doing school tomorrow, or we're doing school on Friday. Today I got to get all this done. I got to do this, and that's what I'll do, you know. And don't feel guilty for making those executive decisions. Okay, you run this house. Do what's gonna make you feel at ease. It's gonna make you feel. If your kids are just not in it that day, and you just need a mental break, and you're like, you know what, we're gonna watch movies today. We're not doing this today. Don't do it. Like, you know, as long as it fits in your schedule. So that's why it's awesome to have a schedule and a plan, because 90% if you're executing that plan. What happened? You faker. yeah, that's why it's always good to have a plan, to stay organized as much as you can, because then when you need some time to pay attention to the baby or yourself, you have that time, you know? So, for sure, find those windows. Stay up late. For me, I like to stay up late, even though, yeah, I might not get an extra hour or two of sleep, and I still wake up early, whatever. That's fine. I get 2 hours of just quiet, and everyone's sleeping, so I know everyone's happy and safe, and I don't have to feel guilty. I feel good. I like that. Eat a little drumstick, a little ice cream or something. Have some almond chocolates from Costco. Those are my jam right now. And another question I got is, what would you do if you still had a full-time job? It just depends on their age too. If they're young, if they're like kinder first, even second, depending on your kids, you know, behavior, temperament, like how they kind of learn and stuff, it can still be pretty difficult. They will need someone there to guide them. So definitely try and see if you can have, if, you know, obviously if you're working full-time, someone's watching them. So, you know, see if you could, you know, recruit them to help you a little bit with school stuff, even if it is, you know, half of whatever they need to get done. So yeah, you're definitely going to need a little bit of help if you're working full-time, or you're going to have to do the bulk of the work probably when you are off, or also split it up during the day, like do something in the morning before you leave, and then, you know, leave them some independent work for during the day, and then, you know, finish up any instruction time in the evening or afternoon when you get home. If you have like a typical like 9 to 5 job or something, I would definitely take like an hour in the morning and then an hour in the evening, and then even leave things for your kids to do, you know, like, or whoever's watching them, say, hey, so they have to read today, or they have to like create some sort of you know, plan to where like the things that you need to teach them and show them, you can save it for like the morning or the evening, whatever you feel most comfortable kind of teaching them. And then that way for when you're not here, you can leave them, you know, the reading material that they have to do or the worksheets that they have to do, and then just tell them like, hey, if you have any trouble with anything, just don't do that part, or just skip the things that you have questions on, do what you can, and then when I come home, I'll finish, you know, helping you. That you could also record yourself kind of teaching certain concepts. So like I would say, like, you know, also look up videos on the concepts and, you know, just save them, put them somewhere where your child will be able to like access them. And like I said, and if they have any questions or whatever, you know, they could just leave it for the end of the day. It's kind of like homework, you know, like they usually have homework at the end of the day from school anyways. And again, that kind of circles back to what I said earlier about, you know, having some sort of plan and schedule. If you work like 4 days a week, I would definitely like probably suggest the days that you're off, maybe doing the things that are more difficult, or doing like longer stretches those days, like doing 2 lessons, you know, on the days that you're off, and then the days that you work, the other, you know, days that you work, you could leave the more lighter work. And that's just like off the top. And also to add to that, if you work full-time, part-time, you know, whatever, remember that you don't have to spend, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours a day homeschooling. Public school is that amount of time because you have 25, 30 to 35 kids in a classroom, and it takes time to, you know, everyone to sit down, everyone to get their stuff out, to teach the lesson, to answer questions, to take bathroom breaks, to go to PE, to come back, to go to another extracurricular, to go to lunch, to go, you know, it takes a lot of time to wrangle that many kids in a day. So if you have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, it's gonna take you a few hours in a day, I promise. Like me, with the girls, 2 hours, 2.5 hours tops. Like if we're doing an activity that takes a little bit longer, if we take a break in between, like I have never taken more than 2.5 hours to do a like full day of school. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, Mavis is asleep, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my planner and all that. Okay, so here are the books. I have them on the chair right here, but this one is Jet's, and then this one is Sissy's. Like I said, she's not doing Math K, she's doing Math 1 like Jet did last year. This is Sissy's Level K book. If I say Sissy, I mean Charlotte. And then that's Jed's math too. So they are grades technically kinder and first. So the only thing that they're doing a level higher is math. I got the planner off of Amazon, and it has all the typical teacher stuff. So like you put your student info in here, call logs, field trip info, trackers, grade book, stuff like that. So obviously I'm not going to use a lot of that, except for probably the grade book, so I can keep track of their assessment stuff. And then here is just like an overview. It gives you all of the holidays in each month. And then also if you want to do themes, which I'm going to do, you can obviously, like, some are pretty obvious. Like you could do like February, you can just do like love theme, like hearts and stuff. And then for August, it can be like summer theme. September, you know, it's like the first day of autumn, so you could do something a little bit different, more like flowers, flower theme or something. October's fall, you know, December Christmas, stuff like that. So it's pretty easy. You can just kind of go off of whatever holidays are that month, and then just kind of make that month that theme. So before each month, there's a page that says like this, plan for August. So you put the focus. So I actually put the social studies and science kind of focus that we're going to do. So we're going to do social studies, we're going to do past and present, and then science we're going to do habitats. And then these are just like some post-it reminders that I have to do. And then I am starting the 20th of August, so I just added this week up here on top of August, and they're all undated, so you can do whatever you want. So I added this week here, and then I started it in August here in July, I'm sorry, and then August starts here. So it's this week and a half of July, and then the rest of this is August. It's pretty much the 6 weeks that we are doing school. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first week. So this is the first week. When I first started planning, I started obviously with the first week, and I wrote too much info. I made it too complicated, and then you can see as the week goes on, it's a little bit less that I wrote. So here's the next week. I did a lot better. And basically what I want to know is if we're doing bell work, daily dose is technically bell work. And if what the name of the lesson is, if we have a worksheet, and if I need materials. That's it. That's what I want to know. If I need to make a copy of anything. So if it doesn't have a name, some worksheets don't have names, so I'll just put worksheet, highlight it. Let's review. That's a worksheet. You know, I highlighted it. Page 25, there's going to be something where she needs to write on it, and I'm not letting them write in the textbooks because I'm obviously using them for the next kid. So probably Mavis is going to be the one writing in the textbooks, and I'm not going to have to make copies. All these pink are worksheets. So this is perfect because I'm just going to be able to open it up and know, okay, I'm going to need this many worksheets. I don't have worksheets for these 3 days. I have worksheets for those 2 days, and so on and so forth. So I did finish the math for both of the girls, and then the level K and the language arts for both of them. So I did all 6 weeks. And that's it. I'm still working on the science and social studies, but then once we get into September, I did fill out each month overview, and I blocked out the week that we are off. So I did that for every month. So here's September, October, and then for November, we would have had a break somewhere in here, but I decided to just have us work all the way through, and then I'll just have that Thursday off for Thanksgiving. We'll just have like a long weekend, but we'll still school that week. And then that way for Christmas, we will have, I only planned for through December, but we'll have the longer break, and then we'll technically start like mid-January. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and DM me, and I'll do my best to help you guys. And I'm still learning as well, so let's learn together, you know, because it can be a little stressful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, if you have any more questions, leave them down below. Also, if you're homeschooling, tell me what you're doing, and I would love to see other people's perspectives. Again, this is only my second year homeschooling, so I'm definitely going to be evolving and changing things as I go. So this is just what's working for me right now. So hopefully I can help you guys in some small way, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!